Hello everybody, this is NCS07 here, and welcome back to another review video. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Puyo Puyo Champions for both PlayStation 4 and Switch. And that's because of the fact that I actually got both versions of the game. But honestly, there's no real difference between the versions. So, anyways, show must go on. So anyways, we'll start off with the presentation without any delay. And the presentation for this game is kind of different. It isn't a very traditional Puyo Puyo game in the sense that there's really not that much to this game. It's mostly designed to be more of a competitive game. In fact, the game is actually just called Puyo Puyo Esports in Japan. And that does mean that the game does lack it's fine enough, like presentation-wise. It is still a Puyo Puyo game at the end of the day. It actually supports two different playstyles, that being Puyo Puyo 2 and also Puyo Pop Fever modes, since both games have different gameplay, but they have both of them in this game, which is nice to see. But honestly though, this game really doesn't have that interesting of a presentation, but though graphically, it is still a very nice game. It definitely looks better than that of Puyo Puyo Tetris, at least in terms of like the character designs. I think they look better here, even if they don't really use a lot of the same spells as they did in like the Puyo Puyo Tetris. It's still fine regardless, presentation-wise. And there's no story mode of the game, which is a pretty big bummer since usually the Puyo Puyo games have story modes in them, but this game does not, unfortunately. But whatever. So moving straight to gameplay now, it's basically traditional Puyo Puyo. There's really not much to say about it. It's basically just you line up four Puyos and you make these chains so that way you can release a lot of garbage onto your opponent. There's really not much to say. Again, they support two different game styles. However, that's pretty much all there really is to the gameplay. It is just a puzzle game. A competitive puzzle game, but still a puzzle game. And gameplay-wise, it's Puyo Puyo, so it's fine. Though, honestly, I only really like playing Puyo Puyo 2, just because I feel like that just works better. Puyo Pop Fever just doesn't work as well, in my opinion. That worked better when it was just the GameCube game, but not here, in my opinion. But gameplay-wise, the game is good, and controls are fine. Now, content is where this game's biggest issue comes in. This game does not have much content. Now, to be fair, the game is $10, so it is not a very expensive game. But I do feel like this game lacks a lot of content. Like, okay, you've got like the main Puyo Puyo 2 and Puyo Pop Fever modes where you just versus an opponent. Okay, that's cool. You can connect and play with other players, but I don't have anyone else to play with, so there goes that. There's like the challenge mode where you got like a few different challenges that you can complete, and that's basically all the mode there is. It does kind of stink, as I feel like the game could have had a lot more content. I understand that the game was more designed around the idea of being just a competitive game, but even so, like, that doesn't mean they couldn't have at least put, like, something in there. Like, even just a short story mode would have been nice. At least something to keep you going back. But there really isn't a lot to keep you going back. But honestly, again, it is only $10. But honestly, if you want to try and get into Puyo Puyo, I'd recommend just playing Puyo Puyo Tetris. Or Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. I mean, Puyo Puyo Tetris is only $10 more, but that game offers so much more content. And you also get Tetris with it, but that's besides the point. Content-wise, the game could be so much better. And music-wise, the music's alright. There isn't a lot of music, unfortunately, but the music that is there is nice. I at least like it. And there's really not much else to say about it. And moving on to the final thoughts. I know this was a pretty short review, but that's because of the fact that there really isn't much to talk about. Puyo Puyo Champions really doesn't have much to it. Because again, it isn't really meant to be this huge Puyo Puyo game. It's meant to more so just be a game for those who want to play it competitively. And I think it does it very well. But even so, I think it could have been a lot better at the same time. Just even having a few extra modes would have gone a long way. But unfortunately, no. But even so though, I do still think this game is good. While I wouldn't necessarily recommend getting it if you're trying to get into Puyo Puyo, I do still think that it is a good game at the end of the day. On my scale from 0 to 10, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think the game really is good, and it is fun to play, but it's only really fun to play with other people, or if you're just trying to get better at it. There isn't really much else to say about it, so it kind of stinks. Though then again, this wasn't meant to be like a really big sequel or whatever to the previous game, so whatever. But anyways, that is pretty much it for this video, so thank you guys for watching this video. Let me know what you guys think of this review, and if you agree or disagree with everything I say. And if you guys want to see more Puyo Puyo content, then by all means subscribe and like the video. And with that being said, this is NCSO7 signing out. Peace!